welcome to our Talking Cafe. It's not live, but it's pre-recorded. You are free to leave some messages and questions in the comments, and one of us will definitely get back to you. My name's Jusna Hussain, and I'm the BAME Community Engagement Worker for Somerset Diverse Communities. So BAME stands for Black, Asian and Minority Ethnic. So we work for Somerset, the Community Council for Somerset, under a project called Somerset Diverse Communities, and we support BAME groups across Somerset to become more resilient, to thrive, be visible, and be an empowered vocal groups really. So at the beginning of the last lockdown, we developed a project called Language Connect. Now, Language Connect is a project that supports people who would like to improve their conversational English skills. And we match them with people in the community in Somerset who would like to support them in doing this. So sometimes it's people who are shielding, other times it's people who've been furloughed, or people who've just got a few minutes a week that they can support a learner to improve their English skills. What we found actually from the project is that not only did it improve people's English skills, people started to get a lot more confidence by talking to somebody, because it was a really safe space for people to have those conversations, and they started to develop their self-esteem a lot more, and many people started to have conversations around sort of job interviews, around CVs and all sorts of other things. So we've been really proud of the achievements actually of this project. We've got about 50 learners and learning partners who are involved, and that includes people all over Somerset. But our learning partners actually range from all across the county as well. We've got somebody that I've matched up recently in the Isle of Wight. So we've opened the doors to lots of other people because of the positive benefits of friendship more than anything else. So today I thought I would bring that a little bit more to life. And I've actually got two of our learning partners, Mick and Lynn, and two of our learners, Adriana and Miguel, to come along and tell us a little bit about Language Connect and their experiences of Language Connect. So we actually, we matched Mick with Miguel and matched Lynn with Adriana. So it all depends on a person's availability. It also depends on a person's interests and hobbies, and also the level of English that they would like to support. So I just wanted to welcome you all to our Talking Cafe today. Hi Adriana, Miguel. Hi, Mick and Lynn.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. I just wanted to ask you really a few questions about yourselves and about Language Connect and why you're involved. So if I go to Mick and Lynn first of all, could you tell us a little bit about yourselves, about your backgrounds, and how this influenced your decision to be part of Language Connect?
Well, for me, I've been teaching English as a foreign language, as a special language, whatever language, for all my teaching career, basically. And I suppose I didn't want to retire. So one way of solving that was to continue doing some work like that as a volunteer. Heard about Language Connect sort of later on, when we've been back in the country. We used to live in Dubai we're back for a few years, and we have been working with Syrian refugees and teaching them. And then we heard about Language Connect and thought that was another way of continuing working as a volunteer and carrying on with some teaching and chatting and supporting.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, we've been abroad quite a lot. We've back probably about half our working lives. And I very much enjoy other cultures, other peoples, being involved with other peoples. I mean, we've obviously had very strong connections with the Middle East, but not exclusively the Middle East. It's always very interesting to find out about more cultures. And yeah, it was actually Lenka who put out, Lenka, who's a local worker here, who put out the call for anybody interested in doing it. And I must admit, from my point of view, I mean, it's been. I am supposedly somebody who is what do you call shielding. So being at home all the time and having someone to talk to 2 or 3 times a week has been very good for me, actually, as well as if there have been any advantages for the other person. But I've just found it really interesting and just a great thing to do a couple of times a week and get out of the house, if you like, virtually. I mean, when I can't do it physically.
This is it, isn't it? It's always trying to find ways to connect with people in different ways, and we've had to do that really for the past year. So it's amazing that you've both been involved. What about you, Adriana and Miguel? Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and why you kind of made Somerset your home?
Yes. Can you start?
Yeah. Well, we choose Somerset because we have a friend living here. So a couple of friends live here, and they support us in the first months, I think, because the law is different, bureaucracy is different, and we receive this support for other people speak the same language as us, with huge help, because it's just different. It's not, I ever say it's not wrong or right, it's just different. But for us, different means is unknown. So we need to learn this thing.
Yeah. As Miguel said, we choose Somerset because we had friends, Brazilian friends here. We are Brazilians. We live in the UK since June in 2019. So it's more or less 1 year and 8 months, more or less. So it's all new for us, and Somerset was the best place to live because we had friends here. So the first steps was understand a little bit about England, about culture, and then we start to have some English classes in our city in Shepton Mallet. And then I meet you, Josna, and then I meet you and Matthew, and then you talk about Somerset, this program.
Language Connect.
Please cut this part. Connect to language, and we have had this possibility to participate in this program. And in the same day, in the same time, we said, yes, we really need this. And then, yes, was very, very special for us, this yes, because, and then we had this big opportunity to know new people, and special, I don't know, for us was very special because we have access to clever people. And you know how lucky we are because Lynn, Mick, and as well Heather are amazing people, and we turn be friends in this time. So yeah, I really recommend this program because it's very special. We learn about culture more.
Okay. We think learning not only the language, but we intend to take part of this community in the end of. And so
It's helped you learn the culture as well, has it? Language Connect.
yes.
Yeah, to understand about people, about living in Britain.
Yes, living in Britain, but I think it's a little bit different here in Somerset. So there is a different kind of tradition, a little bit, not too much, but again, for some things for us is just new, and we try to learn most of the time and adapt to this reality.
Yeah. When I started to participate in this program, Heather was my learning partner, and she could help me with a lot of things because at that time I can't speak too much, I can't express me, I don't know, I didn't know how write a CV, so she was really, really important in my life when I arrived in UK. So she.
So this was your previous learning partner before Lynn. So that was
Yeah.
Heather, wasn't it, that we matched you with?
Yeah. And then unfortunately she needs to return to her job. And then another amazing thing happens because I knew Lynn and Mick. Mick was your first learn partner, no? So
Yeah.
yeah, and this was amazing because we matched very well because we really turned be friends. They and then we had a special day in their homes. One was possible in the middle of this
The brief interruption, yes.
Between lockdowns.
Between lockdowns, yes.
Yeah,
That's very nice to
a
hear.
special day. Perhaps our better day in UK.
So actually, it just wasn't learning the language. You've actually made really good friends with each other as well, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Lots in common by the sounds of it as well.
Yes, but I think also, as Mick was saying, it's very two-way because, I mean, Adriana and Miguel, half your time in England has been during lockdown. I mean, you know, you came and then suddenly you're locked down. So no classes, no community, you know, I mean, that is really difficult. But also, as Mick was saying, you know, for us, he's shielding, and obviously I can't get out and do very much. And at least now we know which day of the week it is, because it's Monday I talk to Adriana, or it's Friday I talk to her. You know, it sort of gives you a nice focus during such a ridiculous time when the days all merge into one another.
Brilliant. Mick and Lynn, can you tell us how easy is it to become involved with the Language Connect? Is it quite a difficult process? Does it take quite a lot of time out of your week? Could you give us an idea about that?
Not really. I mean, it takes almost no time. I mean, we will accept the time when we chat, or certainly my involvement is like that. I mean, Miguel and I just chat and, put the world to right, and and occasionally I point out mistakes which he continues to make, but never mind. He's very good at communicating, so who cares about a few mistakes? I'm also, I mean, it's quite interesting over the time of my involvement with teaching, the idea that in fact language is best learnt by communication, and actually finding this is actually quite true. I think one certainly needs a certain level to start, but once you get beyond that level, I think, I don't know, would you agree, Miguel, that in fact that rather than lessons, communication itself is improving? You improve.
Other day, I think we our talk about this, and to be precisely, I really don't know if I try to measure how much I learn. It's difficult to measure this. So, I learned this subject or that, but I can say my life turned easier now. So I easily today I pick the telephone, I answer the calls, or I get a new job because probably I'm confident with the language. So our conversations make me express better and really make difference in my life and through this to my family, because every time you involved better in society, I think this reflects in the family as well. So I received this knowledge. It's not exactly a lecture, but I think from my point of view, I have a friend's conversation with a friend, which makes it enjoyable time for me, and I suppose for Mick as well.
Oh, very
So,
much so. Very, very much so.
I think a lecture, we kind of, in the very beginning,
Well, I don't know. You talked to me about it. Electrical engineering. I've learned a lot about electrical engineering.
Yeah,
And,
but it took more time, so a long time.
Time.
So I think you turn more confident, especially more
yes.
confident. Your vocabulary, I think, it grows, but you are really more confident. Even when you don't talk, you are not talking with Mick or Lee. Even when you are talking in another people in your work. Now I have this opportunity to watch you working, and then you have meetings all the Mondays and the Fridays, and I saw you talking with another people, and you are much more confident. So this is
I would second that, because the last time I met you, Miguel, was in an ESOL class in Shepton Mallet over a year ago. I think it was in February or January time, before lockdown. And you weren't very confident at all. And actually, this is the first time I've spoken to you after all that time. And your English has come on so much, and your confidence, you're not sort of hiding away in the background. And I think that when I speak to other people, other learners who have been involved with the Language Connect, they say the same, that it's a really safe space to talk about things that they would be quite shy and embarrassed to talk anywhere else. And the more you use language, the more fluent you become. It's all very well having a textbook and reading and understanding, but if you don't do it practically, you just don't, get those skills to talk. And I think actually just seeing you after all this time and listening to you, I think that shone for me as well, particularly. So that's really, really good. Has there been any challenges then with Language Connect? Has there been any difficulties? Because I know, Mick, you've got another learner that you're supporting at the moment, and Lynn as well, although that's maybe ending. Has there been any difficulties that people might want to be aware of?
I mean, I have concerns about those with very limited language, that it may not actually improve confidence. It might actually make it worse, feeling that I can't even do this sort of thing. And I know it would be very difficult, but I mean, if there are any people who have a smattering of another language, I think that would be very, very helpful with some people, just some sort of comfort. They can hear some words in their own language, even if you don't know very much about the language or speak it fluently, but just have some form of contact with a sort of a beginner, just to give them a little bit of support, a bit more support than just hearing English and just not understanding enough.
I completely get that, because we did have a case with an Italian speaker who could speak no English really whatsoever, and I managed to match her with somebody who spoke Italian, and it wasn't about the language, it was actually more about the confidence. So they didn't speak English at all for weeks and weeks and weeks. It was just about talking in Italian and getting her to a level, and then kind of trying to creep the English in there a little bit. So we are aware of that, and we tried. That's why the matching process is really important, because we tried to match people on languages as well. And so we do ask if you do know another language. But then I would also say, for people out there, that's not a barrier either. If you don't know any other language, you only know English, then we can match you with somebody who's sort of an intermediate or an advanced learner, and they can just practice that conversation. Or sign things, you know, practice with, you know, pictures, and there's all sorts of different ways that you can kind of go around that issue. But yeah, I completely sort of take that on board.
Yeah.
Has the technology been any problems with either of you anyway? Has that been generally okay? Because we do try to say whichever, you know, video calling platform is accessible to both parties. So has that generally worked quite well?
Yeah, I mean, we all use WhatsApp, and it's been, sometimes we have had occasions where we've had a lot of lack of connection. I don't know, some days, and then another day it's absolutely fine. So I don't know what it is. It's like we were talking earlier about boosters and signals and etc. So sometimes, yeah, but it hasn't really been a problem, has it?
No, not
We
really.
haven't sort of had to stop calls or you give up calls. We've just sort of carried on and reconnected and etc.
Yeah. And Miguel, you probably know more about that than the rest of us. You were telling me why things are working or not.
But about, I don't see, I think my talk with Nick, we have a few problems than Adriana and Lynn. But for me, it's important to see the other people. I think see the other people. For us, I think our culture, we need is pressure, is emotion. So when you see the other people, is more, for us, we feel more connected, I think.
Yeah,
I think I would second that.
And we are half Italian, so we need to say and to do it, you know. We can't with our hands all the time, so it's quite difficult to talk just on cell phone.
Yeah, I've actually thought about that because actually our neighbour, I'm sure, would love to do it, but she doesn't use smartphones, and I think WhatsApp is quite extraordinary, isn't it? How when you think 10 years ago, what's happened in the last 10 years, are good or bad, but I mean, God blimey, I mean, it's just sort of a new world, isn't it? That you can, I mean, when I think as a kid that we would have actually had telephone conversations and see people, I mean, no, man, that would be just totally out of the world. And now,
but also, I mean, telephone conversations for a non-native speaker are probably the most difficult things that you have to do. I mean, just this voice the other end, no expressions, you can't see their lips moving. I mean, you said you actually had a breakthrough last week and you understood a telephone call, Adriana.
Yeah, I was so excited. So happy because yeah, I just have a phone call. Sorry. And then I just started to hear the guy saying something, but I was working in another thing at that time, and then I just start to think, oh, I'm understanding what they are saying. So, oh, seriously. And I was so happy because I could understand him. I could understand and I could have some conversation for the first time on cell phone, on a cell phone.
Yeah.
amazing.
And it was so, I don't know, so special. So
I think we look at this like a small victory. So it's a breaking through. So we passed this point. So every time we have this, our life getting better. So it's easier to us live here. So
and I would say for more advanced learners, we do say maybe switch off the camera from time to time and just use your voice, because that will push you a little bit more to kind of listen rather than just the cues and the hand signals. So that's something, because I know, Adriana, we were saying, you know, I'm going to talk to you about your hopes for the future, but I know probably about a year ago you were saying you'd quite like to work in a call centre. Is that, do you remember you said that? Like maybe in a call centre or an office or something like that. And I said, you know, we need to practice on the phone skills. Is that still the case? What are your hopes for the future for both of you?
yeah.
Is there anything that, what's your career progression, or what would you like to do with yourself eventually?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Because in my career, I think now I stay because it's kind of 2 months ago I started a new job. This means I intended to stay in this job for a while now. But I think for me, the next step is take part of this community or this city, or start
Being involved with other people in the community, is that right? So being part of the community.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Brilliant.
you grow in your job because in your career, because when you arrive in UK, you start doing some work from inter-level worker. So, and now you are working in your area. You are working with electronic
Would you
engineering.
A little more
do you ever
precise.
think you'd start up your own company again?
Oh no,
Definitely not.
Not in short time. Definitely not. Well, we
surely
kind
the
of,
high-tech business is reasonably easy, isn't it, to start up on your own? Or is it not? Does it need a lot of capital?
sorry.
Do you need a lot of capital to start up a high-tech?
I think it's not this the point. You be a self-employer or have your own company, you need to put a lot of energy in that. So you need to believe in this company a lot.
Yeah.
So, and we had this opportunity in our
I know
company.
you did. Yeah.
And it was very special because we could work together and we worked very well together. But here we need to understand more and more and more about laws, about a lot of things to have our own company. So perhaps in the future, but definitely not now.
No.
It's not in our horizon. Definitely not.
Yeah. Looking to the future, Adriana and I have just started to work on her writing as well. So trying not to keep it just to oral communication, but thinking about the future, that obviously getting a job, you need to have your writing as good as your speaking. So we've just started it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Slowly.
Wow. Branching off into different directions. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So Adriana's writing a book.
The life and times of Adriana.
No. It's going to be Brazilian cookery.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Try to translate for new situation. Because
It'll all be about chocolate. Chocolate.
No, condensed milk too.
Condensed milk and chocolate, yeah.
Chocolate and special condensed milk. We put in all the things. And now the new things that I tried to put condensed milk was the tea. Delicious.
Very thick, creamy tea, I would imagine. So I'm gonna wrap it all up now. Really, thank you all. All of you for joining us and talking to us about your experiences. Just as a last thought, would you all recommend Language Connect to everybody out there? Because what we're trying to do at the moment is to get the word out there that you can be a learning partner, that you don't need to know a different language. All you need to do is have a commitment of about 40 minutes a week, up to an hour a week, for sort of 2 or 3 20-minute sessions, and just have that conversation with people. And I think when you've had that conversation, you look at Adriana and Miguel and how much they've actually got out of it, and how much their confidence has grown, how much their English has come on, and how they're thinking about, writing and cookery books and all that kind of thing. It's such a beneficial thing. And also I would say for any learners out there, if you would like to be involved, to kind of let us know. All the information will be in the comments section for people to make contact with us. And we will get back to you as soon as you make those comments. And it's all on our website as well, which is in the comments and running along the ticker there as well. Is that generally, as a last thought, if you could give us an idea of your sort of recommendations and things?
I'll just say that, I mean, Adriana and I have been so happy talking. We just forget the time.
Yeah.
Do go on a bit.
So it doesn't stick to the 20 minutes then?
No.
Usually more than 1 hour. For me,
For me,
Yeah, that's obviously your choice. Your choice.
Oh, it's our choice. It's our choice. We just forget the time.
yeah, and all the time then when Miguel and Nick are talking with each other, I just enter in the call and start to.
And Giovanna and everybody.
yeah. we thought,
Sorry, and Giovanna too. Yeah,
Giovanna is our
yeah.
daughter.
Very enjoyable time when we are talking. So the times just flow and just by.
Yep.
So it sounds like you would all highly recommend it.
We're
Absolutely.
certainly,
Yes.
Very much. That's what I like to hear. So we are running it continuously all across Somerset. So obviously, if anyone's interested, just let us know. And thank you all again, all 4 of you, for joining us. I can't thank you enough, and thank you for being involved in the project.
Thank you for facilitating it all. It's been
Yeah, and
terrific.
organising. It's great.
Yeah, very good.
Not
Very
at
good.
all. Really enjoyed it. And then when I hear stories like this, it just, my heart melts and I just, oh gosh, yes. Done something at the end of the day that, it's making a change in people's lives, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you'll see you all soon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thanks,
Thank
Trista.
you.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye.
Uh,